Beyond the ruins, how the Dark Ages shaped Europe. After Rome collapsed and before the Renaissance dawned, Europe experienced the tumultuous era often called the Dark Ages. Famine, plague, and unending wars dominated, and death could claim half a community overnight. Yet seeds of progress endured, carefully preserved by those who safeguarded knowledge and offered tiny beacons of hope in the chaos. In August 410 AD, the Visigoths breached Rome's walls, led by Alaric, a former Roman ally denied promotion. Starvation forced the city's surrender, and the three-day sack broke Rome's 8th century aura of invincibility. However, Rome had already been weakening, plagued by inept emperors, civil wars, and deadly diseases. The emperors hired foreign mercenaries like the Goths to guard shrinking borders, but mistreatment of these newcomers triggered rebellions. After Alaric's death, more barbarian groups surged into the Western Empire, fragmenting its territory into domains ruled by local warlords. Once stunning architectural feats, including roads, aqueducts, and the Colosseum, fell into decay. City life shrank, and people reminisced about Rome's lost grandeur. Nonetheless, a shared Christian faith provided some unity. Monasteries filled governance gaps, preserved literacy, and gave shelter during strife. Barbarian kings like Clovis found a power boost by embracing Catholicism, though they kept their violent ways. Meanwhile, in the East, the Byzantine Empire maintained a Roman way of life in Constantinople. Emperor Justinian attempted to reunite East and West, but his ambitions were derailed by the bubonic plague, which may have killed half of Constantinople's population. Weakened, the Byzantines retreated, leaving the West to its own turmoil. Over the centuries, Europe's population declined. Monasteries became knowledge strongholds where monks painstakingly copied ancient texts. Yet a fresh threat struck in the late 8th century as Viking raiders from Scandinavia plundered coastal and riverside towns. They brutally seized monasteries, conquered parts of England, and tormented local kings with savage methods. Eventually, England's Alfred the Great fortified towns to fend them off, and the Viking menace lessened. But now restless knights turned on peasants, prompting the church to enact the peace of God, intrusive of God, and later to channel violence into crusades against Muslim powers. Although these crusades brought immense bloodshed, returning knights carried back new ideas and goods that revitalized European trade in towns. By the 11th century, populations rebounded. Roads were restored, farmland expanded, and commerce revived, paving the way for Gothic cathedrals, universities, and rising nations, preludes to the Renaissance. Far from being empty centuries, the Dark Ages were a time of fierce struggle and transformation. While civilization slipped backward in many places, pockets of innovation and learning survived, lighting the path to a brighter era ahead.